Okay, so boom. First on the list, we're gonna talk about the Shanquella Robinson update. So it sounds like Yahoo News has broke the story that one of the alleged suspects in the death of Shanquella Robinson was picked up by federal authorities on the 28th, I believe they said. So this is the thing. So I did some digging to see if I could figure out what was going on. And I know like the Interpol agency, they have like a red notice, which basically is like they put people on a list who are wanted in other countries, right? Because there are certain countries that participate in Interpol. But I didn't see her name on the list, feel me? But apparently they did arrest somebody. And so it's going to be a whole process to that, though, from my understanding. Let's say federal agents did go pick up Dejanay, right? They will hold her in custody here in America. And then the Mexican authorities, they will talk with the federal agents here in America and figure out if they're going to actually extradite her over to Mexico for her to be prosecuted, and she'll go through the whatever process they got going on over there in Mexico. It is nowhere like the American process. Okay, you're not getting the same kind of justice over there in Mexico the way you get over here in America. So that's going to be a whole situation. That also could take some time because my understanding from my research that I've done is that if it is whoever the suspect is, right, we're alleging, or it's alleged right now that it's Dejanay Johnson. If that is her, then she also has the right to appeal extradition from going over there. So that could be a whole nother process in itself. In addition to that, the feds over here in America, they can prosecute her as well, right? So she could catch a charge in both places. But I'm gonna tell you right now, last place she's trying to go to prison is in Mexico. So this is going to be interesting to see how this story goes. In addition to that, is 5 other people who are allegedly involved in this. And so we still don't know if any of the other 5 individuals that were allegedly present during this attack and murder, let's call it what it is, a murder. We don't know if they're going to get picked up at all yet either, right? Because if they did go get little Dejanay might start being like, it wasn't just me. Okay, y'all was with me, or did y'all plan it, right? Because there's been some allegations that perhaps this situation was planned before they even got over there to Mexico. So all of that is probably gonna start coming out. So we're gonna keep up. I'm gonna keep up on the story and see what's going on. But yeah, it's getting deep over there in the woods. Okay, so boom. So next on the list, we got everybody's favorite person that we are all favoritely sick of, Mr. Ye and his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian. So they have finally come to an agreement and they're divorced. It is over with, done with. And so the verdict is out. Essentially, Ye is going to pay $200,000 a month in child support. The two of them are going to split like security for the children. They're going to split tuition for the kids when they go to school. So just kind of the basics, right? And, in California, it's a community property state. So I'm pretty sure they had to go back and forth on that. But according to, some of the notes that I've seen in some of the news articles, it really wasn't Kim who was the issue, was more so Kanye. So we know that, or Ye, whatever his name is now, Ye has been in the news a lot. He has had a lot of issues, legal issues, right? Because of some of the things that he has said. And so throughout this process, he has lost multiple attorneys, right, which has kind of delayed the process. We have seen that he clearly has lost a lot of money. So they probably had to recalculate, what he would owe due to that. So all those were at issue. And then they also came up with an agreement that if there is a dispute with regards to the children, right? So if they're not agreeing on how they want to do things with the kids, because you remember Ye wanted kids to go to Donda. Well, Donda is gone. So they can't go to Donda. But if they have any issues like that, then they both agreed that they would go to mediation to settle the issue, which basically means like they each going to get an attorney and they're just going to try to come to an agreement on how to deal with it. But if one person don't show up to the mediation, then the other person, they get to decide how they want to handle the situation. which is really smart because we also heard, back then that Kanye wasn't showing up to the hearings and stuff like that because he was trying to get his girl back, but that didn't work. So we're done with that. Congratulations. That's over with. Yay. Okay, so boom. So one of the big things going around on the internet right now is King James. So King James was doing like an after game interview, and he let the reporters ask their questions and do what they wanted to do. And right at the end, he was like, I got a question for y'all. And he was like, I'm just confused as to how nobody decided to ask me about this Jerry Jones photo that was circulating around the internet. Now, boom, peep game. There is a photo going around showing Jerry Jones. He, in his younger age, he probably was a teenager, some of that sort, and he was part of a group of people in Little Rock, Arkansas, who were trying to prevent the schools from integrating. So y'all know, y'all heard of Ruby Bridges and all that stuff. I think she just had a birthday not too long ago. I think she's like 60, maybe, very young still. And so there was a riot outside her school in Little Rock, Arkansas, when they decided that they were going to integrate, and she was the first, little Black girl to go to an all-white school. And so Jerry Jones is in the photo. And so at first, the reporters tried to, follow up, and he was like, nope. And he basically addressed the issue like, see, when Kyrie was up here and going through whatever he was going through, it was everywhere. It was on all the, major media. Y'all drug it out. Everybody was getting interviews. You know what I'm saying? There was this big deal about how anti-Semitism is just like a huge thing and how it's coming back, and how we are highlighting it more. But then when it comes to Black issues, y'all don't want to address it. Y'all just act like, oh, it is what it is, and sweep it under the rug. And he was like, I was really ready, to answer some questions about it. And this is an interesting topic because we love to believe that racism towards Black people, the disrespect of Black culture and things like that are old, right? People always want to believe that slavery ended 400 years ago, when the reality is that slavery lasted for over 400 years. Black people are just now breaking barriers and getting the rights that we have because slavery and racism and segregation for Black people lasted for so long. And so a lot of people was like, oh, well, Jerry was younger when this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a teenager. And the reality is like, okay, boom, that's cool. But let's say he was 14 when this photo was taken. How many 14-year-old kids have we tried and prosecuted and convicted as adults and sent them to prison for life because we say that the decision that they made at that age, you was an adult. You made an adult decision, right? Also, let's not forget that not too long ago, when Jerry Jones in his grown age, when people were supporting Colin Kaepernick, he was one of the main coaches who told his players they could not kneel. And he decided that instead of them kneeling, that they were going to lock arms and walk out to be in solidarity. But how do you get to tell people how to protest? Like, that's not how this works. The oppressor don't get to tell me how I'm supposed to protest. So that's a whole nother issue. So this is a situation that's going up right now. A lot of people are talking about it, and it's opening up discussions about the difference in how we deal with Black culture and racism and, the things that we go through, and then other cultures when they deal with racism and how, they're treated. Let's not forget that we struggled to try to get anti-lynching laws, but then other races, right, when they had issues, as soon as they were present, we saw legislation go up and be passed in the House and the Senate to protect them. So I think this is a major issue right now, and I am so proud of King James, LeBron James. He a Laker. I'm in LA. I'm a Lakers fan too. But I'm so glad that he took the moment to use his platform to call people out about not addressing these type of issues. So kudos to him. You know where you can find me. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. I am Legally Hype. Please make sure you subscribe, you follow me, tweet me, holla at me, don't yell at me. And you can go to legallyhype.com to get your Okay So Boom merch. Thank you.
We are the Morning Hustle.